Welcome back to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. I am Brooke Mangum, and today we are diving into Utah's thriving hard tech scene. My co-host David, who you of course know and love, spoke to Landon Ainge, Managing Director of TribeAngels, and Vanessa Perez, President of MakeUtah. Together, they are shaping the future of hardware innovation by empowering entrepreneurs, connecting local investors, and building a strong support network for hard tech startups. It's a fascinating conversation, and I am so excited for you to hear it. So let's take a listen.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. Thanks for listening. My name is David Osmond, and I'm stoked to have some really good friends in studio with me to talk about innovation, creation, ideas. Vanessa Perez is the president of MakeUtah.org, and Landon Ainge, president of TribeAngels. Thank you for being in studio today. This is all about bringing a meeting of the minds, getting cool people together that want to change the world through creation, ideas, inventions, and being able to create a ground in Utah where there's so much innovation. We've had a lot of software with the Silicon Slopes. It's world famous. But on the hard tech side, the actual gadgets and gizmos, aplenty. That's what we're talking about. And so everybody's got an idea. Something happens in your life and like, oh, we should come up with that. That's what this is all about. And I'm excited to talk to you guys to see how you're making that happen for so many people. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, David. It's so awesome to be here.
Really excited to get it going.
Awesome. You get the cool Australian accent, and Landon, yours isn't too bad either.
I'll try and keep up. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Well, I'm excited to get into this MakeUtah. It's a newer initiative. Tell me a little bit about the genesis of what this group is. And it's a 501c3 charity as well.
That's right. We are somewhat new, although a great friend of mine, Shad Woodland, huge shout out to Shad, has been daydreaming and been the key visionary around this project for about 5 years.
Cool.
There's a successful model in Chicago that we model from, and Shad's been mentored and coached for about 5 years, and the MakeUtah vision really started to come to life about a year ago in Pleasant Grove through the kind generosity of the doTERRA founders, allowed us to at least have space and start to grow this ecosystem, and that was facilitated with the wonderful Corbin Church from iHub, and great partners of ours. And so we now have space, and then in January of this year, I took up the reins as the president of MakeUtah. It is a 501c3, but we will also be creating a for-profit entity called MakeUtah Ventures as well for our venture fund to help fund startups.
I bet you see some really cool things. Every day is a new idea. I'm thinking of like the Meet the Robinsons movie where I've got an idea, and it's presenting it, coming together and collaborating to make something life-changing. And you've seen quite a bit already, just even in the short term that you've been president of this organization.
Yes, we're like a magnet. We're attracting, the innovators and the people that love to
dreamers.
Tinker, the daydreamers, the people that are like problem solvers. And there's a lot of great ideas out there, and people just don't know where or how to bring them to life. And so many good ideas just die. They die at the kitchen table, they die in the garage. And we want those people to come into our space and get connected to the space, the tools, the equipment, the expertise to bring those ideas to life, get them to market.
That's so cool. Well, I'm excited to know that you're there and now putting a spotlight on that hard tech versus where it's always been on that software, which is super cool. But being able to have that hard stuff to be the physical, tangible that you can make a difference in people's lives is fantastic. So kudos to you. And a lot of things on the horizon, a lot of ideas of gatherings and groups, and you've done events before where you come together and open to the public and where people can contribute and get a sneak peek into what's happening in innovation in the past, but also going forward in the future.
Thank you, yes. Our events are a great way to build that community, bring people together, and we're also working now on some really key programs that will help us to move innovators from concept to commercialization. So we'll have a 4-part bootcamp series, from creating your business and validating your idea, prototyping, manufacturing, and then bringing it to market. And then we'll have a number of programs that just inspire that next generation and get them exposed to problem solving and critical thinking and working as teams and tinkering and bringing ideas to life. So super excited to launch some of those programs soon.
Those napkin ideas where you just write it down, but you're like, I don't know how to get this from A to B and then to Z ultimately. And this is a great vehicle to be able to take that idea.
I like to say people will be able to walk in the front door with a little napkin drawing and say, I have an idea, help me bring it to life. And everything that they'll need to do that will be under that roof. And I am one of them. Like, this space matters to me, and what I'm creating is something that's going to help me build that community of what I need to bring some of my ideas to life. One is an electronic device, and I have no idea about electronics, but I know how to build the team to help me build the prototype to help me manufacture it. So that's really what we're building right now, and I think I might have a prototype in a couple of weeks.
Well, I'll cross my fingers for you. It's knowing your sweet spot, your genius zone, what you can do, and knowing what you can't do is half the battle, so you can find the people that can help you do that. And it sounds like this is a great co-op, collaborative to make that happen. Yep. That's cool. Now, Landon Ainge, the president of TribeAngels, this is in sync with what Vanessa's talking about, but you support this because you have a group of accredited angel investors that it's designed to build those high-level relationships, educational components, and investment opportunities. Tell me a little bit about your background and what the TribeAngels is and how it fits into MakeUtah.
Yeah, I think my background might take too long for this whole podcast and the conversation, but
I got some questions now.
Yeah, that's
tell us. It's exciting.
That's another time.
But I guess I would say that in understanding TribeAngels, I was kind of the archetype that needed this help, right? So TribeAngels, the purpose is to bring together people that understood multiple avenues, multiple industries outside of their own.
Okay.
So bringing together the technology and software side, which you talked about, people that understand, that are business owners in that space and are doing well, but also bringing together the physical world of people that have created physical products or service companies or construction or real estate. Most of those people tend to do pretty well in their particular sphere. But what I found was they felt quite isolated. They felt like they didn't understand what was outside of their own world. They felt like they were alone in some of the problems they were running into. So my goal with TribeAngels is to bring together business owners to think about investing in private deals in those other verticals, right, to diversify their knowledge, while at the same time adding value to them right now, because most of them are putting out fires as business owners, having to navigate employee issues, figuring out should they put another dollar into their own company or should they put it elsewhere. And so what sparked kind of this conversation, and you can hear that magnetism from Vanessa on MakeUtah for me, was that as we were talking about physical products, I'd been through that path of creating a physical product. I also would run Overstock.com's mobile product, so I'd sold a lot of physical products. But what I realized is that it wasn't that understood by many investors, and so we, in listening to our members, decided to do an education on investing in consumer products. And that's where I ran into Vanessa with her highlighting of specifically hardware and Hardtech products. And so we started to do more collaboration between us. But unlike Vanessa's magnetism, where she, everyone just wants to come to be around her, I found that I'm more isolating individual in that scenario. And I had to go find a business owner one by one and start to invite them one by one to build this eclectic group of people. When you connect people in that diversity of thought, where I have a plumbing business owner next to a CTO of a technology company, next to a real estate professional and a fund manager, they all have such different perspectives. They can learn so much. And in fact, what they get is they're so impressed with a person that's sitting next to them. They're all impressed with each other. It's quite fascinating. And so that's the creativity we try to connect. We meet monthly. We really do try to bring these people together and help them with what they need now while preparing them for their next job as business owners, which really is investing. You just don't realize it.
Is that how TribeAngels differs from the traditional venture capital or angel investor group? It's a different horse of a different color.
Yeah, I would say most angel groups are people that have already reached the pinnacle of their career, typically speaking, or they're on the semi-retirement stage, and they tend to only invest in software. Our perspective is we want people that are currently running businesses, who are busy, to be there to learn how they may consider investing in private real estate deals or private other companies, or do it in an environment where they're around people just like them that are going through the difficulties they're going through. We recognize that our people are super busy. And so, that's the main differentiator, is like that you're never going to be around someone, sit next to someone who's exactly like you, and that they're coming from a different perspective. And I want to help those people that run those businesses just understand what's coming next. You're not your business. That's a hard concept to understand for most business owners. They identify themselves as their business many times. And when you begin to look at other people's businesses, you learn about your own. Yeah. When you begin to invest or evaluate whether you might put your dollars into that company, you start to see their weaknesses, which is a really good self-reflection point of view to say, what do I need to work on in my business?
And have you seen the real life stories of the benefit of this group and how this has made an impact and a difference on maybe a startup that needed that little boost, not just capital, but ideas?
Yeah, I think on the startups, we definitely backed many entrepreneurs locally in the state because we focus on hyper-local connection and investing in a local opportunity every time. So from a real estate project being built right across the river, or right across Jordanelle, a ski-in, ski-out resort, we had the opportunity to invest in a small, and we get to see it be constructed. It's a huge project, but we were small investors, and I got access to my business to invest in this huge, amazing $300 million project.
That's a huge opportunity.
But at the same time, we helped a small startup, get $150,000, which resulted in a whole wave of other people also investing outside of our group. So they got a round where they raised $1 million collectively, and we were the first ones to do that, affect that change in a local business, helping in the medical device.
Not just helping that business, that startup, and then find that success, find the deal opportunities, but then after the dust settles, to have built that relationship among the community.
Yeah, most
people
think
that lasts.
Most people think money solves my problems, and the answer is no. So a lot of times, it's know-how, it's connections, it's money. And so that's the goal of TribeAngels, that we're going to hopefully support that entrepreneur, whether it's with money, with support ideas, with connections, whatever dollars in the space.
And that goes back to MakeUtah and the connection between the TribeAngels and MakeUtah.org. It is about relationship. It's about collaboration and those ideas and helping each other to get to the next level. It does take capital. It takes the almighty dollar, but it also takes passion and ideas and the legal side and marketing, and there's so many elements. So how does MakeUtah, with their mission, help entrepreneurs within the Hardtech space take it from concept to commercialization?
Yeah, it can be long, right? And it's very exciting to have experts like Landon and others that are around our ecosystem who've already been there, they've already made something, but they want to give back and they want to offer and they want to mentor. We have people walk through the door at all different stages of their concept, from I literally have an idea and I don't have a prototype yet, to I already am making revenue. I already have a prototype and I'm making revenue and I need to scale up and go to market. And it's such a unique space because, with software development, I don't know, we have people in our space who are developing apps and they can have a product developed in like 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah, it's fast.
It's fast and it's completely different to somebody that needs tools, equipment, engineering, a prototype, testing, and then manufacturing. And they may need very expensive equipment. They may need very expensive engineers. Yeah. So we're trying to solve that problem by collaborating with industry partners. We're not there yet, but our vision is to have the state-of-the-art tools and equipment with about 15 different lab environments. So think about robotics, electronics, hot metals, cold metals, plastics, composites, woodworking, probably pottery, probably jewellery, a AV studio, a music studio so that people can actually make music. Like we want to provide the space, the tools, the equipment, the expertise to bring just about any product to life. Oh, commercial kitchen, don't want to forget that. I have 5 food products on my list as well. And it really will be the space that allows someone to walk in the door and bring any product, anything to life. And that's expensive. That's $6 million worth of equipment just to get set up to provide that.
People don't realize that.
People don't realize
the
that.
idea's on the napkin, but to get it to that next level, it's a huge, daunting task.
And without it, I mean, the difference between bringing soft tech to life and hard tech to life is software, you really just need talent and time, and then cloud services,
Yeah.
right? And the space to be able to do it, keep the momentum alive. But you could launch an app in 2 or 3 weeks. But to bring a tangible hard tech product to life, if you don't have access to that tools and equipment and expertise now, and you partner with a local manufacturer, for instance, I mean, most people go offshore. We want people to stay here. We want our IP to stay here in Utah and in the USA. But if, you were to partner with, just taking one of my inventions, for instance, I probably need to cough up $100,000 just to get a prototype made and tested before I'm even ready to manufacture it. And that's out of reach for the average daydreamer and inventor. Well, that's what we're flipping the table on. That's what we're going to change. We will have those wonderful manufacturers as our industry partners, but we want innovators to be able to tinker with engineers on tools and equipment to bring their own products to life and test it and then bring it to market. That's
amazing. And have this group that will help foster that and support each other in it. I'm sure you've seen a lot of exciting things, maybe stuff we're not even aware of. Like, what are some of the innovations that you've seen come out of Utah that maybe we haven't seen?
We have a phenomenal innovator in our space who has brought hard tech to life and brought it to market. He's working on a pretty major Amazon invention right now, but he's also designed, engineered and invented a chip the size of your thumb called Halo, and it will change communications, home electronics and warfare. He will be manufacturing here in Utah, and he's like one of the smartest men I've ever met in my life. And think about, when you've got all your home appliances and we worry about China spying on us and will they turn our vacuum robot on in the middle of the night, right? His product will allow you to kind of just like take the chip out of all of your home electronics that were made in China and put a US-made chip in there. Trusted communications, trusted electronics, trusted communications in the warfare space. He has special operations testing his product now. Like, that's world changing. And I want to give his name, but he tends to be very private. But we'll make sure that you get to meet him.
And that's one idea of so many. And then there's more practical uses. You mentioned to me off air something about even medical devices that are saving babies. What's one of those inventions? Cassandra
Bradley, hi Cass, genius mum inventor. Her last baby was in the NICU and needed feeding tubes. So if you've ever seen a baby or an adult with feeding tubes out their nose and out their stomach, and then when it was time to take her little darling home, he still had tubes everywhere. So she talks about, the alarm fatigue as well. Like, you're an exhausted mum, you come home, you hear the alarms when they're not going off, you don't hear it when it goes off. She found her darling boy with the feeding tubes wrapped around his neck and he was blue, like he almost died. They saved him, and then she started going, how do I solve this? Like, how does this happen? The hospital didn't have equipment to manage that safety issue. So she invented it, and she calls it's a tuck line protector, essentially. It's kind of a bit like a pool noodle with medical grade products that go over these tuck lines and keep them rigid
together.
So they don't curl around, they don't wrap around your neck, they don't wrap around a baby's neck. So that's one part of her product. And the other part is a dome that when the feeding tubes come out of the belly button, like even putting her baby in the car seat to take him home, couldn't do it because the car seat buckled up on the feeding tubes in his belly button. So she rolled up a T-shirt and put it around so that she could protect them with the buckle. And now she has a dome that is like on an elastic belt.
Yeah.
And it allows the protection of those tubes in the car seat, but also allows babies to have tummy time. When they have feeding tubes coming out of their tummy, they can't roll over on their tummy, and it's needed. So she invented it. She manufactured it. She sold probably 1,500 units already. And now she's ready to manufacture in Utah and scale that and get it in the hospitals.
Solution only the real life world experience would have been able to come up with. And for someone to see that and say, what if we had this? And then be able to go and take it to market.
It's very sad. It's not only her child that was impacted, but another friend's child died.
Because of that same problem.
Yeah, and it happens all the time, and she solved it.
Wow, the butterfly effect of that one innovation.
It's like she sells it for like less than $40.
Wow.
To save a life. So love mum inventors. And I know there are lots of mum inventors out there. And if you're a daydreamer like me, and what's fascinating, like just about every day I meet somebody, and I love to start the conversation with,
everybody's got an idea.
What's cool and exciting? I bet you got some ideas in your head.
Yeah.
And people say, I do actually. Isn't that funny you would ask me that? I actually have 15 ideas. You know what's fascinating? Teenagers are innovators now. I know multiple teenagers say, I've got 50 ideas. I'm inventing like an invention logbook so that we'll start giving them out to people and say, just jot them all down. Just jot them all down now. It's part of your IP journey, right? Yeah. And then come and bring them to us and let's bring them to life. But teenagers with 50 ideas in their head.
Well, they're not cognitively inhibited by the restraints of the past of what we couldn't do before. Oh, it's just like the world's our oyster.
Problems they want
to
solve.
That's the rule breakers, right? The teenagers, right? But that's entrepreneurs, right? And so I just speak up. That's business owners. Anyone that started a business is that not a rebel, but something that they say, well, why isn't it this way, right? It could work so much more efficiently. And so I love that aspect, and I really do focus on teenagers as well as, that you talked about, mothers. I just highlight that, right? I'm genuinely passionate about that conversation and spoke to most of the customers that when I went down this path of doing a physical product was rejected by most of the investors. And yet when I spoke to mothers who were the customers and understood the pain point, those are the people making the purchasing decisions. Those are the ones understanding and managing the home. They're typically the ones that are the buyer of most physical products. So I love going, I don't know if you're in Utah, like you should go Swizz Days, Pinners, Mom Tribe. You should go understand, mothers and women, because they're the ones that really feel most of the pain points when it comes to physical products and want to buy. And that's why you're talking about that innovation there. Yeah.
Certainly in my house, I know for my wife, and I'm so grateful that she's got the reins on food and cars and clothes and vacations and life's decisions, because she sees things from an angle that I know I can't. That is impressive. It's awesome. So if you've got an idea out there, I remember watching commercials back in the day when they say, if you've got an idea, if you're an inventor, call this number and all this. And you remember seeing those just randomly? Yeah. This is a real life group that's right here in Utah that's doing just that you can actually go physically be a part of and speak out your ideas and collaborate and help find a way to get that off the ground and make it a reality. Yeah. That's so cool. So if you're an inventor and you got an idea, what do I do? Where do I go? What's the process?
Well, you could visit our website, MakeUtah.org. We're curating a lot of events now, like community events that are open to the innovation community. So you'll be able to check out events. You'll be able to book a tour, like come visit us Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Come and have a walk through, meet some of our startups. We do some regular events, and it will be to bring minds together to help us build this ecosystem for soft goods manufacturing in Utah, to help people like Cassandra. She wants to manufacture here. There are like 5 of us right now in our orbit that have a soft goods product that we want to manufacture here. So we run think tanks, and we help innovators get over whatever challenge they're facing. It might be at ideation phase. It might be at manufacturing phase. We have such great partners in the BYU Tech Transfer. So they get involved, they sponsor the event for us, and it helps us bring these minds together and solve these challenges and problems. So that's pretty exciting. And then we will be rolling out a lot of our programming soon, so people will be able to come and learn. I have a lot of family, a lot of mums and grandmums and grandparents say, you know, my grandson just wants to pull the toasters apart and I don't even know how to coach him on that, right? Well, we want to provide that tinker time, allows you to come in, pull an appliance apart, see how it works, put it back together. Doesn't matter if it doesn't go back together. Next week, we'll actually have a builder's tinkering session, so you can come in and build a robot out of all the appliances that don't go back together. So we'll be doing like courses on drones and 3D printing and robotics and tinkering and troubleshooting and sewing. We've got we want people to get back to learn how to sew.
So many cool moving parts. I mean, the sky's the limit with ideas. Yeah. And to be able to have a group, a co-op that actually can come together and build upon each other with those ideas is so powerful. So I'm excited for you. Congratulations. And it's right here in Utah. So MakeUtah.org is where you got to go for more information. Events are happening all the time, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's great. And if you're on the other side of wanting to, if you're running a business, a small business, you're in a position as an accredited investor to get involved in this group, what's the process? What do they need to do?
Yeah, so we usually allow guests to come one time. This is a gated room, right? So you have to show you're a business owner doing enough revenue or at a stage in life where you're...
For the TribeAngels.
For TribeAngels specifically, to think through that you're at that stage to try and invest. But we let anybody come as a guest one time, come and see if this is kind of the type of experience we can bring to you. The reason why it's gated is it's so much about being give first, right? It's so much about supporting each other. So you need to kind of make sure that you're committed to being there, to coming. It is a paid group for that scenario. But I think I would want to go back broadly to just talk about the goal of TribeAngels is really to help people with their understanding. And if I'm not educating on some of the aspect of the understanding, I think I'm kind of failing from that standpoint. You know, we're focused on making Utah better, making these business owners have higher exits, making these business owners diversifying their investment. One of the things that I want to point out to when you look at the economy of Utah, though, is really this physical product and hardware space. And so the only thing I would say is we look at software, we see these things, but when we look at what made Utah great, what got Utah going in the entrepreneurial world, it came from the physical world, from mining to agriculture,
good call,
to energy and oil and gas, right? And so these were the building blocks of the industry within Utah. And then what came was this introduction of hardware technology. You go to the history of Utah with Fusion.io and other physical mechanism. Utah was involved in the creation of connecting the internet and was one of the central hubs of doing so. And what that led to was an innovation. And so really now we've kind of gone to another phase where software has really taken a realm. But in order for software to continue to succeed, we have a hardware problem. We have an innovator problem in the state of Utah. And so as business owners, that's an opportunity for you to create a company. As inventors, that's an opportunity for you to create or to invest and participate in that. Right now, when I look at the future of Utah, I look at what is going to build the infrastructure and the energy and the data processing to enable all of these hardware innovations, to enable social connection, to enable social media, to all of those things. And so I think the next generation of Utah will be, for the next 10 years, will be built on on the back of hardware innovation. These software companies will continue to succeed. They are fantastic investments. And I see hardware as a higher hurdle that once you build it, it's harder to replicate, which is usually more of a sustainable business. Maybe not as fast growing, but sometimes a much more lucrative investment, much more enduring change, much more impactful structure. So that's kind of my perspective. These are the types of things we talk about at TribeAngels of how do you understand, or where is the opportunity, or how can your business benefit from this change coming, or how can you invest in it? And so that's the realm I take on TribeAngels, of just trying to educate people of what they're doing. And I want to invite you out. Hope people can come out. LinkedIn is really a great way to connect business owners. So
LinkedIn's the best connection, or his website?
Ainge, website, Decide to Tribe, and you find TribeAngels or other groups that are for your type of peer set.
Totally. And if Hardtech, like to your point, is the greatest need right now that you're talking about because of the software, necessity is the mother of all invention, right? It's that need, and when you come together with those ideas, I'm just stoked to see what the future holds. I mean, we're at such a crazy tipping point of idea, especially with the AI revolution and everything else that's going on with that side of it. To put the Hardtech along with it, it's going to be crazy.
We have to have the data centers to process that. And in order to have the data centers to process the AI, you have to have the energy production. Yeah. You have to have an efficient use
all goes hand in hand
of water, right? All of those things tie together to create the software and the hardware. It all is tied together.
So keep dreaming, keep thinking, keep innovating. If you got an idea, now you know where to go. MakeUtah.org, TribeAngels for that investment side to learn and grow together. Really appreciate your time. You guys are brilliant, and your powers combined. It does take that village, that tribe, and being able to have that community with this space, that co-op. So check it out. If you have those ideas, get involved in this community. Utah is a breeding ground for just awesome opportunity and innovation and entrepreneurial spirit. How can people support these startups and get behind this innovation?
Oh, thanks for asking that. And it's a great thing in Utah. Like, so many people want to get behind supporting what we're doing and supporting our startups. There's a great way that people or even industry can get behind now by sponsoring some of our startups to be in the space. Many of them are pre-revenue and pre-funding, so the ability to have access to a space and then the mentorship and the networking and the connections to bring their ideas to life really matters. Shout out to NEO-ITO, a dev development company that sponsors some of our startups now, and West Camp is a great non-profit in the manufacturing space in Utah. But we need more, so it's a great opportunity for individuals or companies to get behind sponsoring our startups so they can actually bring their ideas to life in a great buzzing ecosystem.
Congratulations.
That was fun.
Vanessa Perez, Landon Ainge, really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us on Fresh Off the Set. Any more questions, please follow, make any comments online for these people. They're working hard to make a difference, and they're making it happen. So really appreciate your time. Have an awesome day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.